Hi, everybody. My name is Ricardo Cabrera, and I am the operations manager at the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Boulder County. And we have today a special guest. Her name is Leticia.abajo, and she is the founder of a company she calls Deshaciendo Nudos Untangled. Welcome, Leticia. How are you today?
I'm doing really well. Thank you, Ricardo, for inviting me.
Excellent. Well, before we start talking business, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience and where you're from and all those good things.
So I'm a Spaniard from Madrid that came to live here in 1997. I have always been involved in education, always involved with the Spanish-speaking community, always doing work for equity and bridging both worlds, English and Spanish. And yep, and I have a husband and a dog and two kids. Well,
Wow.
let's say it the other way. I have a husband, two kids, and a dog. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You love everybody just the
I
same.
do. Yes.
They all have their place. So good, excellent. And so you went to school in Denver?
Yeah, well, I went to school in Spain to become an early childhood educator.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came here, I did other things like herbalism and other trainings and stuff. And then I decided to got an associate's on bilingual education,
Mm-hmm.
and then a bachelor's on human development and family relations from UCD. And then
Oh,
I got
wow.
my certificate in life coaching.
Excellent. Well, you sound like a well-rounded person. I have a friend that used to say, "You seem pointless to me," and everybody goes, "What?" And then he says, "Well, that's because you're well-rounded." And it's a double wow, but yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about then your business, Deshaciendo Nudos Untangled. What is
Yeah.
it, and what do you do there?
It's a practice. It's a company where we work in family education, different topics and different ways of making families stronger, better communication, more trust among the members. And we are focusing right now on LGBTQ families and individuals. And I also like to work around the environment, living with less plastic without having to spend more money.
Mm-hmm.
And we are bilingual, so my website is bilingual, so I can work with either English speakers or Spanish speakers and bilingual people too. And I can do Spanglish.
In Spanglish, good. Any other language?
Unfortunately not.
Good, excellent. So, okay, so it sounds like your business does several things. So, do you have a special focus right now that you
Yeah,
do more
right.
one of the other?
Yes, so through family education, I'm focusing right now on LGBTQ issues, how to educate the community, society, how to help a family navigate the transitions when a child comes out as transgender or non-binary or gay or any of the identities represented by the LGBTQIA plus community. Um, and I also like to work with the non-LGBTQ community to create more awareness and to just to learn about it because education is power.
Of course, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so it sounds like you take a family that's going through a transition, maybe, or that already went through the transition, and help them reconcile or understand or grow
Yep.
internally, externally with
Yes. We.
about a non-binary individual.
Yeah. Well, we can do that. We don't do therapy though. It is
Okay.
not therapy. It's more about learning about the ins and outs of family communication, nonviolent communication, trust, support, how you uplift someone in your family when they're not doing well, how you celebrate everybody's successes, all of that. Also, if they need to navigate the world through name change, and if they have a request for the school to change the kids' um, pronouns. Um, I can't think of any examples right now because it really is about education, what the rights are for people, I don't know a lot about the law per se, but I can figure out how to find the answers. But it's mostly helping the family through that whole transition, embracing the identity that their members have. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if that sounded really clear. It's a lot. We talk a lot about when someone comes out of the closet, right? That's
Hmm.
like such a statement now that we use it just for not about anything now. But when a person in a family comes out of the closet, the whole family goes through a transition and a transformation because the roles change and maybe the rules may change too. And communication and family education is what I come in with. How to navigate that and stay strong together.
Yeah, like in anything else, when there is a life change or a life changing event, like in this case, somebody coming out, there's almost like the stages of grief that you have to go through, whether you know it or not, and the family roles, the family, everything rearranges itself, and if you don't know that you're going to experience this, then you would need somebody to help you through it, right?
Yes, and the thing is that when so and of course there's not one recipe, right? Because humans are we're all the same, but we're all different. We're
Hmm.
very special, but not so special.
Hmm.
So it can happen that you may have a sense of loss when
Hmm.
your child when you thought you had a girl and your girl tells me, no mom, I'm really a boy, or I'm
Hmm.
non-binary, right? And so you have to reset yourself, and you
Hmm.
have to reassess what is it that is different now. And we tend to have this projection, right? When we have a baby, this baby is going to go through these stages of life and go through these things, this um, changing uh, ages and all of that, and all that kind of changes, and it may even disappear. So it's good for a parent to take care of themselves and to have someone that they feel safe with, asking questions that maybe don't sound very respectful, but
Hmm.
you don't know what you don't know. It doesn't matter. You need to have someone safe where you can ask your questions. um, I've had parents asking me, what did I do wrong? Why is my child this way? And and well, we're not perfect as humans, right? We're not perfect as parents, but there's nothing wrong with being an LGBTQ person.
Right.
So
And they
there's
didn't
nothing
do
that you
anything
did wrong.
wrong.
Yeah,
Right.
and
And
so yeah, but most of these come out of fear. My child is gonna have a little more difficult life than maybe other people. How can I protect my kid from
mhm.
harm, right? And that's where we need to understand that fear drives some people to act in a way that maybe may don't seem it might not seem loving,
Hmm.
but it's the way they know how to react.
Well, I think the important thing to know is that we don't know everything, and we always need somebody to talk to and talk with to help us through. I mean, as much as we like to think that we can get through anything alone, that's not always the case, and especially in issues that are so new uh, to the society, to the community, and sometimes there's a cultural aspect to it. I know in my case, the the Mexican community, Catholic, Roman Catholic, they don't accept them until very recently. It was, a mortal sin. And like my parents, for example, grew with this concept that was, you know, taboo, that was bad, non-accepted, and the individual could be in danger in some situations, in some countries, and so on, much more um, than now. I mean, times are changing. It's much safer. It's okay. Uh, and I'll tell you a story. My daughter came out to me, or came out of the closet when she was like 12 or 13, and she had help. She could not have done it by herself without somebody helping her to understand herself at the time. And I am so thankful for that person. And my daughter's happy. She's very well adjusted. She's 23. I mean, this was like 10 years ago.
Wow.
Um, but not everybody has that fortune that she did. And I do think that, well, that anybody that is there that wants to come out, that wants to go through this process and end up in a healthy spot, should be able to talk to somebody like you, or many other services out there.
Yes.
That, just so they can, because like you said one of my favorite words just a moment ago. If you don't know, you don't know. Well, you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
I think our goal today is to get people to know that they don't know. And that is the place something you can do, a place where you can do something about that. So why don't you tell us how to get a hold of you, so if somebody wants to talk to you more about this, they can.
Well, they can always search for me on Facebook, Leticia.abajo, or Deshaciendo Nudos. And I know my pages are in Spanish, but my website, deshacernudos.com, is bilingual. And that's why the company has the double name, Deshaciendo Nudos Untangled. Navigating life is just hard, and sometimes you just need someone to kind of ask the right questions so you can figure out what the answers are. And so I'm yeah, and I work through schools and nonprofits, companies. So yeah.
Right. So you let's see, you work with Adelante. Is that the name of the company?
I don't know. I've done talks and for many different, like I'm not in any one specifically.
Okay.
So I'm for hire. I'm a mercenary.
Good. Well, I'm going to put all that information down here in the
Thank you.
description, so people can just click and get to your webpage and be able to get a hold of you if they need to do so.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Absolutely. So, well, thank you for all that information. That was very helpful. And before we go, I have a surprise question for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so here it is. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word in English? Whimsical.
Whimsical. Wow, nice. Okay, I'm afraid to ask why.
Because it's whimsical itself. And, and that's how, like, my life has been like that a lot. It just makes room for fun and creativity, and I don't know, it's just a really fun word.
And it's fun to say, whimsical.
It took me a couple of years.
Excellent. All right, Letty. Well, thank you so very much for your information. Until next time.
Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you for having me.